It's time to go inside out as SNY NFL insider Connor Hughes joins me now. And Connor, Isaiah Simmons on his way to New York now. What are the Giants getting in Simmons?
Well, they're hoping they're getting the player that Wink Martindale had graded higher than any other player in the 2020 draft. I mean, this guy absolutely loved him coming out of Clemson, that class, when he was with the Ravens. Obviously, the Ravens were not in a position to draft him, so he went 8. The Ravens weren't picking until the 20s. But look, I mean, this is a guy who's kind of found himself out of position in Arizona. He was a linebacker to start, then a hybrid. Then he said this year he didn't want to be a linebacker. He wanted to play a safety. From my understanding, the Giants are going to play him at linebacker, and that's kind of just a quote-unquote position, because if we know anything about Wink Martindale, is that he has a positionless defense. The one thing that he is so spectacular at, and why he's one of the best defensive minds in football, is that he takes guys' strengths and he exemplifies them, and then he finds their weaknesses and he masks them. So some of the instinctual issues that Simmons has, some of the physical issues that he has, he's going to find a way to not necessarily showcase that, and instead he's going to highlight that pure athleticism that just so few around the NFL have. And hopefully he becomes a pretty big player within this Giants defense. But look, if he doesn't, and if he really just turns out to be a player who's not all that great, guess what? They only gave up a 7th-round pick for him.
Very true. Okay, let's talk offense a little bit, Connor. Daniel Jones looked near perfect in his limited action last week against the Panthers. Is he ready for the regular season?
I think so, and I think it's probably because Daniel Jones has been arguably one of the 2 or 3 most impressive players in Giants training camp throughout the summer. This is someone who got that big money contract extension. You wondered if his play would match the big money contract extension because the Giants paid him. They did it with a little bit of a hope that by surrounding him with better players, his play would improve and he would become that franchise quarterback they hoped. He's looked like it all throughout camp. He's looked like it in the preseason. Now he's just got to do it in the regular season.
Yeah, and quickly from you, Connor, on defense, the Giants are also hoping to add a new wrinkle. What can you tell us about how they plan to use Adoree Jackson?
Well, what was interesting to start training camp is suddenly started to happen more and more and more, and that's that they really like the idea of Deonte Banks at one outside cornerback, Trey Hawkins at one outside cornerback, and then Adoree Jackson goes into that nickel spot. And again, it was happening early on, and you kind of wondered, like, oh, this is just, Wink Martindale having some fun. He's seeing what works, what doesn't, if they happen to have to go to this in the regular season. But no, it's happened time and time and time again. So this is clearly going to be the Giants' nickel package. And I don't know, it's looked okay at times in camp, but I've talked to some people around the league, and they question Adoree Jackson's ability to play inside because it's not Madden. It's not as simple as just throwing someone in there. You need a specific skill set. I'm curious if he can do it, but the Giants certainly think he can.